This is a movie about the refusal of the Hawaiian Humane Society to take action to stop the inhumane and cruel treatment of animals. This is why our movie is entitled The Failure of the Hawaiian Humane Society. Many people on Oahu know about the so-called Cat Lady of Honolulu. She's a homeless woman who has been living for quite some time just off Ward Avenue in Kaka'ako. She is easy to recognize because she has many shopping carts full of cages, traps, and carriers where she confines mostly cats and kittens, but other animals as well. We want to say up front that we are not opposed to a homeless person having a companion animal. However, in our observations of the Cat Lady, we have seen and documented activities which we believe are in clear violation of Hawaii state law. And it is inhumane. Day in and day out, the woman confines the animals in small cages, sometimes too small for the animal to stand up, and often with 3 or more animals confined in a single cage. The animals are never let out of the cages. Their feet never touch the ground. They spend every minute of their lives confined in dirty, small cages. At times, the cages are filthy and smelly. We've seen flies buzzing around many of the cages. To add insult to injury, all this takes place directly in front of the State Department of Health building and on city and state land. For years, the Hawaiian Humane Society has ignored citizen complaints, including ours, regarding the number of animals being kept and the way that they are being confined. For example, city records obtained by Animal Advocate Inc. show that on June 19, 2007, a citizen reported to the Hawaiian Humane Society about the homeless woman with, quote, cages and cages of cats, unquote. She said this constitutes cruelty and asked the Hawaiian Humane Society to take action. On June 27, 2008, we wrote to the city's Customer Services Department and to the State Department of Health Vector Branch and requested any and all documents pertaining to the Cat Lady. The agencies provided us with the documents which show that citizens have complained about odors, feces, flies, and, as you would expect, animal cruelty. The documents show that the Hawaiian Humane Society was informed about many of these complaints.
Animal Advocate Inc. began documenting these conditions that the cats and other animals are forced to live in. We documented the situation over a period of many months. On May 8, 2008, we wrote to Ms. Pamela Burns, the Executive Director of the Hawaiian Humane Society, requesting her assistance in removing the animals from the Cat Lady's possession. We provided details of our investigation and observations showing the miserable living conditions of these animals. Our May 8, 2008 letter to Ms. Burns also advised her that we had consulted with the Animal Legal Defense Fund, who stated that this situation where animals are forced to live continuously in small traps or carrying cages is in, quote, clear violation, unquote, of Section 711-1109 Hawaii Revised Statutes. The Animal Legal Defense Fund further stated that carrying such cats in a cruel or inhumane manner is in violation of the law. We shared this legal opinion with Miss Burns and requested her assistance. We told her about seeing the animals being forced to endure intense heat from the sun and being forced to live in their own urine and waste because the cages are not cleaned out frequently enough. However, Ms. Burns has never responded to our May 8, 2008 letter. Having heard no response, on May 21, 2008, we wrote a second letter to Ms. Burns. However, we have never received any response. At that point, we had to ask ourselves, why does the Hawaiian Humane Society refuse to protect these animals, and what can we do to make sure they do get help? The cat lady tells us that the Hawaiian Humane Society delivers cages and traps, and she also said that a Humane Society officer visits her once a week. This was substantiated by Officer Rigo Niera. The cat lady has told us that she gives her kittens to the Hawaiian Humane Society where they are put up for adoption. At times, the cat lady has had 19 animals, then later only 5 or 6. Then she begins to accumulate animals again.
The Hawaiian Humane Society knowingly allows the woman to commit animal cruelty. They have seen exactly what we have seen, yet they refuse to help these animals. We have witnessed the woman screaming and cursing at the animals. We have seen her striking at the animals with her hand. As we said at the beginning of this movie, we are not opposed to a homeless person having a companion animal. Of course, we cannot observe the woman's behavior 24 hours a day. We can only hope that the abuse we witnessed is not routine. We'd also like to say, however, that we have feelings of compassion for the homeless woman as well. The city and state governments allow her to live this way. This has been going on for many years, and it seems as though she's just fallen through the cracks and nobody seems to care. The woman should be helped by social service agencies. However, the animals should be helped by the Hawaiian Humane Society. We sent copies of our letters to Ms. Burns to the Humane Society of the United States. We spoke on the telephone with the local representative, Ms. Inga Gibson. We provided additional information and photographs. However, our request for help produced the same results as our request to the Hawaiian Humane Society: a hands-off approach and no help for the animals.
We know for certain that citizens have reported this animal abuse to the Hawaiian Humane Society since we were able to access government records. However, we wanted to know how many complaints have been made over the years and for how long a period of time. So, on June 27, 2008, we sent a request for records to Ms. Burns under the provisions of the Uniform Information Practices Act.
On July 10, 2008, we finally received a response from the Hawaiian Humane Society. Ms. Burns denied our request for records, stating that the request was, quote, without foundation. We have appealed the denial to the State Office of Information Practices. In the meanwhile, however, the inhumane confinement continues.
Sometime near the end of August 2008, the cat lady moved to a different location. She is now on the corner of Ahui and Ilalo Streets. It's just a few hundred feet from her previous location in front of the State Department of Health building. Perhaps the Hawaiian Humane Society asked her to move since there have been complaints about cages and carts blocking the public right-of-way. But we can't confirm this because the Hawaiian Humane Society will not provide the records that we asked for, even though we requested them under the UIPA law.
Ask yourself why the Hawaiian Humane Society refuses to give us copies of its reports. Each time a Humane Society officer visits the cat lady, a written report should be made, Since a Humane Society officer visits the cat lady once every week, and we know that this situation has been going on for years, there must be hundreds of these reports. On December 14, 2008, we called the Hawaiian Humane Society to report the animal cruelty and to express our concerns about the situation. The following is a tape recording of our conversation.
We go out there weekly, so I'll let the officer know that to go take a look at her then.
Could I just maybe ask him a couple questions?
Well, he's not in right now. What kind of questions do you have?
I don't know. I was just wondering, I didn't realize you guys were working with them. Are the cats okay? Because they didn't. I don't know. It just seemed like they were in those cages on the side of the street.
Right. When the officer goes out, he checks on all the animals. If he sees any of the animals that look like it's in distress or it's injured or anything, he does persuade her to give them up.
Okay. So I guess everything's alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I'll let him know that we got a call on it, and he'll just go and make sure everything's okay.
Okay. Did anyone else ever see anything about it? Because it just seemed...
Well, that's why we check on her regularly, is because people do have concerns about the cat.
Okay.
So that's why we check on her regularly.
Okay. Well, what was your name?
My name is Jennifer.
Jennifer what?
Jennifer?
Your last name, though?
I'm the dispatcher. I don't need to give you the last name, but I'm the dispatcher.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, thanks. I'm glad that I guess you guys are doing something about it.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
As you heard, the Hawaiian Humane Society thinks there's no problem with the way the cats are confined. But, as we've said before, the Hawaiian Humane Society knows exactly what we know and sees exactly what we have seen. We believe that the reason the Humane Society will not provide us with copies of their reports is because the reports show a very large number of citizen complaints, but the animals are still in the same bad situation. Rigo Niera of the Hawaiian Humane Society claims that they can do nothing more to help the animals because of the way that the existing law is written. The law may be somewhat ambiguous, creating this loophole for the Humane Society. We don't want there to be any ambiguity in the law. Therefore, Animal Advocate Inc. has asked the Animal Legal Defense Fund to write a new law, which they have done. We believe the Hawaiian Humane Society, under the leadership of Pamela Burns, should enforce our existing laws. If, however, the Humane Society thinks the laws should be strengthened, why was this not pursued? We cannot wait for the Hawaiian Humane Society to take action, and neither can the animals. That's why the Animal Legal Defense Fund agreed to help us, and that's why they wrote the new law.
We decided to take our photos and our video and make this movie. We wanted to show you exactly what's going on. Now that you know, we hope that you will take action to help change this horrible situation. Please help put a stop to this animal cruelty.
The Hawaiian Humane Society must do more to stop animal hoarding and abuse, and this case provides a prime example of the failure of the Hawaiian Humane Society. Representative Brower has introduced a bill at the legislature to protect the animals. It is HB 1510, and Senator Galataria has introduced a companion Senate bill. It is SB 1222. At the time this film was made, the bill had not yet been scheduled for a hearing at a committee. This is how you can help. Track the bill's status by going to this website, capital.hawaii.gov. Click on Bill Status along the right side of the web page. Type in the bill numbers HB 1510 and SB 1222. When you see the bill has been referred to a committee, call or email the chairperson of that committee. Please tell them why they should support this bill. If you do not have a computer, please call the Public Access Room at 587-0478.